So it's spring in my garden, and before I do a workabout bit about how the winter vegetables did and how the new plantings are going, let's have a look at some tadpoles. This is some frog spawn in the top pond, and in a minute we'll see the frog spawn starting to hatch in the top pond. Then we'll switch to the bottom pond for some video of the tadpoles. I didn't video them in the top pond at all. And there's the frog spawn with the tadpoles wriggling inside it just before they started to hatch. And in the next photo, you'll see a tadpole sunbathing in the big ponds down the bottom, and then we'll switch over to some live commentary that I made at the time. There's one of the tadpoles. It's important that a garden shouldn't be all work and no play. You can see down there are some tadpoles sunbathing just there and elsewhere. And just down here, there are some that are browsing on the weed that's growing on the side of my pond, blanket weed growing on the side of my pond. Over there's a new plant that I bought this year, just before the garden centre's closed, and I can see some tadpoles playing in there too. And occasionally I see my little baby sticklebacks swimming around. They don't seem to have bothered the tadpoles yet. There's one of my marsh marigolds. There's another, and there's another little plant there with small purple flowers on, which will be coming up soon. And there's a sedge and a bulrush there. I've cut them down a bit, given them a bit of a haircut because they were getting a bit unruly, so we'll have to see how well they do this year. And right beside the pond there's a comfrey. I love watching the bumblebees playing on that, and they'll be at that quite soon because the flowers are about to open and they'll flower all summer. Each time a branch a sprout stops flowering, I cut it off and another one comes up and flowers. And down here, these long leaves, they're from my water chestnut. There was a flower in bloom earlier. Here it is down here. Look, it's just sunk below the surface of the water. It's a bit over now, but I love the water chestnut. I put it in last year and it seems to have survived. It did completely die down, so I did wonder, but I know it also seeded, so I'm not quite sure whether it's the original one or a new. My little pond is a constant source of delight. Oh, and there's the filter I made from another floating planter. It's got an air stone in it, which is solar powered. And fairly soon I'm going to mix up some stuff to cut down on the duckweed and general cloudiness in the pond, so I can see what's going on it a little bit better. So it is important to give yourself some playtime as well as work time out in the garden. And there you can see quite a dense bunch of tadpoles all grazing along the edge of the pond. There's some more there, more down there, and then they're all the way around the sides of these planters as well. And the snails are looking like big green bushes. They've got so much stuff on them. They really ought to graze on each other's shells, I think, to try and free each other up a bit. Don't know if you can see it. It's one of the proud herons. There it is, look. Finally got it in the middle of the shot. There we go. Doesn't seem to mind the light too much, does he? I don't know if you can see it, but right by this flower here, there is one of the other frogs. He was down the bottom of the pond a few minutes ago, but he's just come up for a breather. So it's a good opportunity for me to take a quick short shot of him. And now here are some of the real stars of the garden show. I filmed these at night. I haven't got the lights on to try and get colour this time, because I find the main result of that is I tend to end up with not quite enough light for colour and a lot of overexposed bits in the middle. So this is just with the night vision light on the camera. And he's one of my regular visitors, this little chap. He's just having a look around. They spend a lot more time drinking than they do eating. There is some food in that little black, in that little wooden box thing you can see beside the big bucket, but he's not been in there yet. He will go in there a bit later. But at the moment he's just having a sniff around, seems to be hunting, and I love it when they scratch themselves. They look like little dogs, don't they? Ever so sweet. And here he is, he's come up the other side now, and you can see the little tongue lapping up the water. I normally give him more water than that, but he's had to sort of get right over to get into it. Water's really important to wildlife, because in this day and age there's just not so many ditches and ponds and things around. So you need to put out some water in your garden if you want to encourage wildlife. And what else is he going to do? Well, I'll just let him speak for himself for a moment. A nice little shake again, like a little dog. Those fleas must be giving him jip. By the way, at this point in time the clock on my camera was not right. This is getting on towards morning. It's the wrong day and the wrong time as well. This was the beginning of April, this particular shot. I have put the clock and everything right now. I'm sorry about the fact that it shows the temperature in degrees Celsius as well as Fahrenheit. I can't get rid of the Celsius, it doesn't seem to be an option to do that, but at least it does give us the temperature in intelligible units. And off he goes. Well, over into the corner anyway. And there's a starling. I do quite like starlings, and there's one of the pigeons. I'm not quite so keen on them because they tend to have a go at my lettuces. They haven't done that so far this year. And this one's having a look around. I think he's probably thirsty, but I don't know if I've actually got a film of him drinking. And there's a blackbird in the background. I think that's Mr. Blackbird. I'm not quite sure what he's eating now. I hope he's not my lettuces. I don't think they've had a go at that yet, but he's obviously gone for something green. And there's Mr. Blackbird again, more into the foreground this time. And the pigeons strutting around having a look. There's the blackbird having a go at drinking. Unfortunately not singing, but he's a handsome chap anyway. The pigeons are still in the background. There we are, he's one of the stars of the show, one of the magpies. If you know where Gerald Dull's works, My Family and Other Animals, he had a couple of pet magpies and he called them magpies, so that's what we always call them in our family. If you listen carefully, you might hear a sound like a rattling box of matches. That's his call. And here we have a little wren or sparrow or something. He's quite a handsome fellow as well. And there's Mr. Hedgehog putting in another appearance, coming in for his nightly drink. Date says it's the next night, but like I said, it was a couple of days after the date on the display there. And I'm pretty sure that this is Mrs. Blackbird come along to have her turn. Very welcome she is too.